So in this week's episode of Picture Stories, I'm going to take you through a assignment that I did in Nepal. I've been to this place about 3 times. I came across it first off with an assignment about education in rural Nepal. I love this place so much that I went back to I think 2 or 3 more times after that for different stories whenever I had the opportunity. It's a small place very close to Pokhara, but not in the tourist area, so it's sort of one step back from where you would go if you're going trekking. You can still see the mountains, but it's just a bit further back, a bit in the lowlands, just behind the main kind of trekking area, so they don't get any tourists. It's very, very rural, but it's easy to get to, and some great characters. I just want to talk to you through a couple of photographs here as I look at them. Now, one, this is the main photograph here that I'm going to talk about in a minute, just because of the way that it just pops out at you. Now, typically when I'm traveling and I'm working, if I'm just doing photography, I've got 2 cameras, as I did at the 7s, if you watch that video. Normally one with a long lens and one with a short, typically 24 to 70 on one side or 16 to 35 on one side, one of those 2, and then a 70 to 200 on the other side, 2.8 lenses, and I just work with those 2 bodies. I don't really have anything else that I need apart from spare batteries and cards in case I run out. Now, let's go over to the images here. So, as I said, I'm going to talk about this one in a minute, but I just want to talk about some of the things that happen. This is from one of the shoots that I did. I think this one is in 2011, the first shoot, and the one that I really want to show you is this picture here, because these are one of the things, just the sort of things that happen to you as you are out and about doing your daily work. This woman, Biswas, who I met only because, if you see the previous image, the rain just suddenly started absolutely pouring down, and we ran to grab shelter in the closest place we could, and it was actually right here, just under a little lintel where we could hide from the rain. And there was this lady, Biswas. These are not her children, they're actually her brothers and sisters who she was looking after. This was back, as I said, in 2011, but I still talk to her today. I just happened to bump into her. She actually spoke very good English. Some years later, I helped her try to set up a business that she was trying to do in her local village, and we still talked to each other. We became friends effectively. And this is the kind of the wonderful thing about photography, about getting out and meeting people, that you meet people that become literally lifelong friends. As I said, I've been back a few times, always pop in to say hello to her when I go back, and maybe bring her some things if I have anything that she particularly needs. Okay, let's go back to that main shot that I was going to talk about before. This was in the school where I was doing the education thing, and this is kind of typical. I mean, there's so many shots in here I could pick out. It was so photogenic, so easy to pick out great shots, great light. In these kind of rural schools, often you have light pouring in through the window, very little light in the classrooms themselves, which gives you very strong side light. And then obviously kids are quite often very happy to see you. I would normally do a little bit of English teaching while I'm there, just to kind of give back a bit to the school for saying thanks for letting me take some photographs for the story that I'm working on. And then this is one. You can see the sort of series and see the way that I work. So we start off here where we see this group of children just sitting at the back of this classroom with a very unpainted wall, very sort of deadpan grey wall, and you can see the characters as we go along. And then as I start to work, this was actually the first shot I took, but you can see again concentrating on her and then picking out other characters from that scene as we go along to try and get this shot. Now, for me, this was great because the whole story was really about improving rural education in Nepal, and it was partly for an NGO who were giving me access. I was giving them my pictures, and partly for the news organisation I was working at. Very simple to do these kind of photographs. You can see I've isolated the subject. I pulled it right down to 2.8, the widest aperture I can go. Got some distance, which is going to give me that short depth of field, and just tried to focus, pinpoint on her eyes. You can see the other 2 characters either side sort of dropping away a little bit as they come out the light. But she is there looking straight in the camera in a really engaging photograph. Okay, that's it for this week's Picture Stories.